Is Ripple and the US government working on a covert plan to let XRP become the infrastructure of America and a global supplier of digital assets so that we may use it to pay off our $40 trillion debt? A significant portion of the XRP community thinks that there is a strategy here, and this video will discuss what that strategy is. If this were to happen, we would also comprehend. What must occur first? What is the source of the value? How can we go from $280 to $1,000 or $10,000 using XRP? In this video, gentlemen, we're going to go over all of those concepts and much more. Let's get started. If a Layer 1 blockchain is subject to that kind of governance, it cannot operate as designed. Alright, so Ripple owns 48% of the XRP escrow. During dinner, President Trump, Brad, and Stewart decided to give the U.S. Treasury 35 to 40 billion of the XRP, or 35 to 40% of the escrow that Ripple controls. With roughly 13 to 18 billion XRP remaining, Ripple would still be the largest corporate holder by far, even if this is far less than the 20% threshold that permits them to be regarded as decentralized. It's still possible for Ripple to be the lender of last resort. Boom! Their biggest issue has recently been resolved by Ripple. How on earth can we distribute all of this XRP while adhering to the relevant legal requirements? Jimmy believes that this deal will close next week. At that point, Trump will revalue XRP at a much greater price than it is now. Recall the events of 1933, when everyone turned in the gold that FDR had confiscated. Alright, a couple of things. First, XRP cannot be revalued by anyone. I take it that XRP is a decentralized blockchain system? No one can revalue XRP, not even Brad, David Schwartz, or Ripple. You may argue that XRP will only be exchanged for this sum in these marketplaces, but you can't just in and start tampering with the numbers. Raise the gold price. This is yet another gold 33. We could, revalue or re-equitize XRP. And Trump might say, oh, just for laughs and shits, let's make it worth $10,000 a coin. Based on the value of XRP over the next 20 years, its potential benefits to humanity, and the token's worth, that is what we believe the net discounted present value is. I will consider that to be $10,000. Then Trump adopted a strategy from the FDR slump. Currently, the U.S. Treasury holds between $350 and $400 trillion worth of XRP. What are the United States, corporations, Russia, and China going to split up? First off, according to this report, Ripple agreed to provide the Trump administration or U.S. government half of the escrowed XRP after Brad, Stewart Alderati, and Trump attended a dinner. The problem with this assertion, in my opinion, is that Ripple unlocks 1 billion XRP per month. Additionally, they have relocked 70% in the last few months, nearly every month this year. They relocked almost 67 tokens in a single month, totaling 670 million tokens. However, 700 million tokens have been used the most. Wouldn't the XRP be going to those organizations if it was guaranteed to a government, or if XRP was given to BlackRock as Xcode XRP? My biggest issue is that. What aspects of this discourse are problematic? According to reliable reports, President Trump and Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, have met several times in 2025. These meetings have included high-profile events like a private dinner at Mar-a-Lago and business seminars centered on U.S. crypto strategy. However, no official sources have officially verified specifics regarding the direct U deal involving escrow XRP being given or managed by the U.S. government. There is a lot of rumor here. Okay, but what if the United States does have a plan? How do you carry out that plan? Where does it begin? I thought it would be fascinating to go right in, so let's do that. Therefore, in theory, the U.S. might use digital assets like XRP to contribute to the repayment of its national debt. Through a multi-phase institutional plan, however, this would necessitate the development of a new financial infrastructure to support such payback structures, substantial asset appreciation, and drastic regulatory reforms. This is an overview of the main process. According to current plans, the U.S. may create a strategic crypto reserve or digital asset stockpile by progressively acquiring substantial amounts of digital assets like XRP, either directly from markets or even through partnerships with major holders like Ripple. Trump did sign an executive order creating a strategic stockpile in the United States, but it prohibits the use of taxpayer funds to purchase digital assets. They're doing this by seizing any digital assets that the US government or state governments, such as the police, have confiscated. For example, in Honolulu, they might kick in a door and discover that slum laws were being broken at any residence, money laundering was taking place, and other things. They also discovered cryptocurrency. The government would seize that cryptocurrency and put it in the stockpile. However, the problem with all of this has been figuring out who to give this to, like XRP, or where to transmit this cryptocurrency, because you're attempting to get it to the US Treasury, which is where all of these state and local law enforcement agencies are located. And a lot of things are happening there. These individuals find it quite challenging to queue up, deliver all of this cryptocurrency, and trace it all down. Keeping your cryptocurrency safe is the most crucial task you have here in the crypto world. Scammers are always attempting to steal what belongs to you. Using a cold storage wallet, like the one I have here, is the greatest way to protect your cryptocurrency. This wallet is good for cold storage. I'm always live streaming. People frequently mention Descent as one of their favorite wallets when someone asks them what the best wallet is. To find out what I was missing here, I had to get in touch with the Descent team. Their fingerprint biometric technology offers unparalleled security. What follows then? Is it XRP? Let's see. Goodbye, till we meet again.